Today we're visiting Jackson's Orchard up in Bowling Green. They grow a lot of peaches here. We're going to learn how to grow peaches from Jonathan. Thank you so much for having us out here
Hey,
today.
glad for you to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the orchard here. When you get ready to plant a peach orchard, what are the first things you do?
So buying trees from a nursery has become more of a plan ahead than in years past.
You have to give them plenty of notice.
That's correct. So as of today, I'm thinking about 2026, 2027 plantings.
Okay.
And trying to get those trees on order, varieties, rootstocks, what have you.
Do you grow cover crops or do anything to the soil ahead of time?
Yes, absolutely. Kind of rotate between cover crops. Still trying to learn and figure out what works best. Peaches much prefer a well-drained, deep soil, 6-7 pH. Not too difficult to achieve there. But again, taking soil samples, getting pH, mineral elements in the right balance.
So you use lime, of course, to raise the pH.
Exactly. Is a big part. It's a lot easier to make site prep before putting a tree in the ground rather than trying to come back.
Yeah, once the tree's in the ground, you can't till it or anything.
Right,
yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah. So do you subsoil and try to dig it like deep?
So
depends on the site.
Yes, depends on the site. Not as much with peaches. Peaches are fairly shallow rooted as far as tree fruit are concerned.
So when you get ready to plant your trees, when you dig a hole and set the tree, describe how you set the trees out.
So we will set a block of trees in a square.
Yeah.
And make these trees are 18 by 24 foot. So go in and mark every 18 foot in a row. And then I've got an auger on the front of the Bobcat.
Oh, okay.
That it's a 24-inch auger.
Oh, okay, so you make a big...
Popping holes in the ground, and then come back. And when we get trees from the nursery, they're generally 2-year-old trees. So they may be 4 or 5 feet tall. We strip them down of all the limbs, cut them off about waist high, set them in the ground with the graft union where the rootstock and the variety meet. Try and get that about 1 inch above the soil line.
Gotcha. And the reason you chop them at waist high would be because that's where you want the first branches. Is that right?
Yes. It's done a lot of different ways.
I'm sure.
But what has worked best for us is going through, and you get done setting a block of peaches. My wife finds a lot of humor in the fact that it looks like a bunch of sticks stuck in the ground.
It doesn't really look like much, does it?
No. But with that, transplant shock.
That's a good reason to prune too.
Stripping all those limbs off. 1, for the transplant shock of it. 2, like you said, controlling where that first layer of scaffold limbs comes from. And in any kind of pruning, as you're cutting, you're stimulating growth.
Absolutely. So, deer are a big problem on our farm. Do you have to protect the trees when you plant them?
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
So we have settled, for the time being anyway, we take field fence, cut it into sections, and build cages.
Oh, okay.
And set them around the trees.
About how wide?
So a full length is 27 feet. So when it's wrapped up and caged together, it's
9 feet or something, 8 or 9 feet.
Yeah, 7, 8 feet.
Gotcha.
If you leave it on there too long, the tree ends up looking like a mushroom because
it grows like this,
squished
and
here.
then
Exactly. So
you have to get that off there before the tree starts spreading.
That's right. 2 or 3 years, and generally a tree is large enough that the deer tend to leave it alone.
Okay.
Now, they may come by a tree like this and browse it a little. It's not going to affect anything.
Yeah. It's those young trees that they can misshape.
That's correct.
Just by taking a bite out of a new branch that you want. Yeah, so then as the trees are growing, then every year do you have to fertilize and, of course, keep the grass out?
Yes, so peach trees have the first 3-4 years, really depending on growth, have a regular fertilizer program.
Gotcha.
Whether that's a triple 19,
Something like that, yeah.
34% nitrogen. It really depends on
how the trees are growing.
How the trees are growing, exactly.
I would think so, yeah.
Now, they get to this size, and again, does it need fertilizer, does it not?
Well, it sure doesn't look like it needs
No,
anything. Those peaches are beautiful, Jonathan. I mean, to tell you. What variety do we have here?
These are Encore.
Encore, I think I've heard of that one.
Great peach. It gets some red color, but has a really nice yellow blend in that color. That's very pretty. Nice peach, low fuzz.
So you grow a wide variety of peaches so that you have peaches coming in for a long period of time. They ripen at different seasons.
That's correct. So we'll start peaches around the 15th of June, pick a variety for about 10 days to 2 weeks, and then start a new variety.
Oh, okay.
And that lasts hopefully until last week of August, Labor Day timeframe.
Okay. I've had trouble growing peaches because of the plum curculio.
Sure.
How do you deal with that? Do you use IPM, integrated pest management?
Absolutely.
Here?
So
well, tell us about that.
So we I trap, use disease prediction models. Two of the biggest issues with peaches that we face is brown rot, and then stink bugs.
Oh, the stink bug.
But when a peach is small, ping pong ball size,
yeah,
very tender, stink bug comes in there and bites it, deforms it. What they call stink bug is part of the cat-facing insect
it makes
family.
Cat-facing, yeah.
So it makes for a rough or ugly piece of fruit.
Right. Can't sell it for #1 anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's a big farm here on the Barren River. How many acres do you have, and like how many acres are in production here?
So there's about 100 acres in production.
Oh my goodness.
And that varies year to year. Constantly taking out older trees and putting in new.
And what else do you grow besides peaches here?
So we've got about 40 acres of peaches, about 40 acres of apples.
Apples.
Pumpkins, between 10 to 12, plums, cherries, sweet corn.
Oh, okay.
But really the mainstays are apples and peaches for sure.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of people here when we pulled up. The public is welcome to come out here, aren't they?
Absolutely, yes.
It's just a few miles out of Bowling Green.
That's right. So this time of year, being May through August, we're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5.
Okay.
And then starting September and October, we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, Sunday, 1 to 5.
Okay.
So come out and hope everybody enjoys themselves.
Well, this has been fabulous to come and see this. I'm very, very impressed, Jonathan. Thank you so much for having us out here at Jackson's Orchard in Bowling Green.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you love gardening, you may want to subscribe to this channel. We showcase plants, gardens, and the joy that gardening can bring.